Welcome to Brookhaven. Successful afternoon for the Stormy Petrels of Oglethorpe. They are your SAA champs in 2023. Post-game show here on the SDH Network. Maddie over there, John over here. We're going to have the cavalcade of stars and guests coming up in short order. When we were on GoPetrels.com at the half, goalless, exciting, back and forth. I think Jason and Jess needed the break. And just to make sure that they were fine, we came on. You thought that it was going to be close to the vest, very, very tight. It was going to be that way for the 30 minutes, but you end up with 3 goals in 10, and it's all Oglethorpe.
I mean, once we got to the second half, it was a bit of back and forth, but once that first goal hit, once Luke Ferrari came in and then made it 1-0 for Oglethorpe, I mean, it was all Oglethorpe from then on. I mean, it was very much, they were dominating that half, and it kind of seemed like Rhodes kind of took a bit of a backseat, and they didn't actually get back into that half, but I mean, a great final match that you can say here for the SAA final.
So 3-0 winners tomorrow on NCAA.com. Follow all of the different sports and all of the windows that you have to open up and go down and open up and go down. Then we'll find out what the situation is with both Oglethorpe and Rhodes. And Jason made the point on the broadcast here with the SAA that these two teams both need to be in the postseason for Division III. It's great to see just the level of competition. Oglethorpe had the moments in the second 45, but both need to be in the postseason.
I completely agree with you. I think it would be a disservice because Rhodes played such a phenomenal game. They have so much potential, and I think it would just be a hindrance if neither of them got the chance to go in and play for the championship, for the NCAA Division III tournament. I think that definitely needs to happen.
All right, so in short order, we'll see if we can summon John Aiken from the far sideline and bring him over and break things down. The cavalcade of stars will include Jessica Charman, Ryan Marcano, and the beauty of live TV is we can sit here and go, "Oh, Jess, you want to parachute in? Come on in."
I'm on camera.
Yeah. Post-game show.
So
yeah, well, you're welcome to the club. So I'm gonna duck out and make sure that the sun's in all of our eyes. So you got to call it with Jason. Now that you've had a couple of minutes to kind of pull back from it, goalless first 45, and it was off the charts energy-wise in the first 45. What do you think the difference was in the second 45?
It's a final, right? And at some point the game has to open up. And I think that with this match, Oglethorpe's home field advantage really came into play. You saw them feed off the energy of the crowd, and you saw that big turning point. I truly believe the turning point in this match was when Mejia had to recover, scramble, knock the ball out of his own net to prevent himself conceding the back pass. And that was the wake-up call, I feel like. That was the moment that everyone became alert on his side, and they realized this result isn't given. This result is not guaranteed for us to win. We're not destined to be the double champions. We have to make sure we take care of business. And you saw a change in the energy from the boys, and you saw them want to make sure that they took advantage of the moments they had. The clinical finishing, I mean, they finished almost every opportunity that they were able to create, and that's a huge testament to the quality of the boys they have on the pitch.
Maddie.
And I mean, just talking a bit about some of their key players for Oglethorpe, I mean, Ben Alram, 2 assists and 1 goal. And I mean, that 1 goal from that free kick position that they earned right over there. I mean, what a phenomenal goal it was. I mean, he has such a huge impact on the offense of this team, and it was great to see him finally get those moments to get in there.
Yeah, it's the first time I've had a chance to watch him play, right? And I'm always wary when I come into games and I haven't necessarily watched players to rely too heavily on stats, because as we know, stats can sometimes be misleading.
What?
But there's a reason that kid has been named the SAA Offensive Player of the Season, and it's because he's Mr. Clutch. He's clinical. His work rate is impeccable. And what I love about him, in a part that won't go down statistically, is his work rate on the defensive side of the ball. How many times did we see him recover the ball in his own half and then look forward? He offers clinical finishing in front of goal. I mean, an audacious effort from the free kick to go on that near post. Not many players have the cojones to do that, but he definitely had it in that moment, and it was a fantastic finish. But then also the contributions to the other goals, like you mentioned, Maddie, the fact that he had the smarts to drill that ball across the 6-yard box into an unsavable cross. I mean, he's the real deal, and he's a player that Oglethorpe are going to need to see even find deeper levels inside himself if they're going to make that deep push into the national tournament, because that's what the goal turns to now. you can celebrate. You can enjoy this moment. It's great. You've won both championships in the SAA. But what comes next is the national tournament, and you want to make sure that you make a name for yourself here.
And the one of the larger points that I think we'll continue to make here is that the SAA, for whatever reason, doesn't necessarily get the recognition across the board that it does. It will be interesting come tomorrow afternoon. Does Oglethorpe get a home weekend for seed, because of seeding? Did they get that home opportunity in the first round? What is the journey going to be like for Oglethorpe and hopefully Rhodes going into the postseason?
I mean, it's criminal. If two teams with only 2 losses on the season and the strength of their schedule can't make it into the national tournament, we've got a problem there. And that's how I truly feel about it. As someone that spends a lot of time, flip-flopping around South soccer, right? I see the Peach Belt Conference. I see NAIA. I see Division 1. Georgia is a hot spot for talent beds for soccer. The South is a hot spot. And there needs to be more respect on it. You can't go off tradition anymore. You can't go on what it used to be. This is an incredible conference. And this match was as entertaining because of how good Rhodes were as well, John.
You look at this, and I mean, it was, the word I'll use was spirited. I will use spirited play offensively and defensively.
Passionate?
Yes. Spirited, passionate. And I mean, even down to, and like I said, it's 3 goals in 10 minutes. That was the difference here in this match. Down 3-0, you are still seeing Rhodes trying to chase after it. You had the opportunity with 10 minutes to go where Mejia had literally had to push the ball away from the end line to prevent a corner that could have made it 3-1 had they tried to convert on those kinds of things. Tadeo had the shot that went over the bar basically a minute later. And so all of these opportunities here, Rhodes, I give them a boatload of credit for what they were doing, even down 1-2 and 3-0.
I said it on the broadcast. It could have been an absolute ramsack if it wasn't for the way they kept fighting. I mean, how many defensive recoveries did we see Rhodes make on big blocks to prevent the scoreline getting disrespectful? They fought for their club. They fought for their team. And you saw the defensive organization, and bar 10 minutes, an even matchup. It's amazing how goals change games and momentum changes matches, but to have the heart and to have the motivation to still be making full field recovery sprints on both sides of the ball, a lot of players maybe drop their heads in moments like that. Not one player for this Rhodes side did that, and that's a huge testament to the way they're being coached, and this is a really exciting program that's on its way up for Rhodes.
And looking ahead to the Division 3 tournament going into this, I mean, what can we expect to see, or what do you think each of these sides need to do in order to go into that championship to be successful going into there?
I think if Rhodes get that at-large bid like they deserve, they've got to have short-term memories, right? It's easy to feel sorry for yourself in this moment. It's easy to feel like you got pipped to the post in both the regular season and in the conference tournament, but you got to dust it off. If you get that second chance to fight, you have to display why you earned it. And I think they'll need to tighten up defensively. This was the first time they conceded 3 goals all season, so they'll be rattled by that. So I think tightening things up defensively and then just trying to score more goals, because when you compared the two sides coming into this one, Rhodes had, I think, 28 goals. Oglethorpe were in the 40s coming into this matchup. It shows how important clinical finishing is. It shows how important being able to always have goals in your back pocket is. For Oglethorpe, more of the same, but also staying humble. And I think that's something that John Oaken does really well as a coach. He's going to give them tonight to enjoy themselves, and they'll be straight back to the training pitch to make sure that you don't take anything for granted. Because as we said, 2 trophies, nice for the season. But what's the big one? What's the one that really means something? It's the national championship.
The one in Salem, Virginia, coming up in just a little while. I know that you are going to be in about 9 different divisions this week and 9 different programs, calling everything across the board. Jess, it was great to see you. Great to have you here today. Safe ride home. Spend time with the little one, because it's going to be the business end of the schedule come playoff time.
I will see you on Tuesday, John. Thank you.
Good to see you. Good to see you, my friend.
And good to meet you. Women in sports.
Oh, yeah.
Exactly. So Jessica Charman calling it with Jason Longshore. Do we have legend Ryan Marcano over there? We have the legend, Oglethorpe legend Ryan Marcano. As we swap out guests here, so Ryan Marcano will once again assume you see. This is the second show that we've done, and this is the second appearance that Ryan has had on the program. So we know that good things have happened because Ryan is on the show. I see how this works now. I know how all of this plays itself together. So Ryan will take this 45 minutes at a time.
Okay. All right.
What did you think of the first 45? And it was goalless after 45 minutes.
Well, first, I appreciate you guys having me as usual. Thank you.
See, Oglethorpe legend Ryan Marcano. It's all one word, by the way.
Yes, sir. I appreciate you. Seriously. Thank you so much.
No worries. It's all good.
But yeah, no, first half was I thought Rhodes did a really good job of just defending on the wings, just blocking off the passing lanes, the overlap, and make wingers in 1v1 situations. So I thought they did a really good job of defending in the first half, for sure. After that first goal in the second half, I think it opened up a little bit more, and we were able to spread them out a little bit more and create the goals that happened in the second half.
As someone who's been inside this team and has like worked with these coaches before, kind of talk to me a bit about what that energy and what that coaching style looks like, especially in a game like this.
Yeah, Aiken. I think I mentioned on the last show that Aiken can be very rah-rah before the games. He's great with those speeches. He definitely knows how to get the players ready for the game. That's for sure. Josh, I actually played with him here at Oglethorpe too. He can be very intense. He holds players to a high standard and definitely demands a lot out of the players. But yeah, I think they definitely Aiken did a great job of that when I was in this atmosphere as well, and it showed today they had a good performance.
When you have someone like an Alrum in your hip pocket, and you get to see what kind of a player Ben is, who was active basically in one aspect or another in all three of the goals that were there, and if I'm not mistaken, someone named Ben Alrum came and gave you a bear hug after he got subbed out late. But I mean, when you look at, if we take it a goal at a time, it's a set piece. Alrum creates an opportunity. Luke Ferrari goes up to like the fourth floor for the header and puts it in to make it 1-0. Then Alrum starts it, probably could have gotten a hockey assist on the second goal with Kozine to make it 2. And then, Maddie saw the free kick. As I was looking at my notes trying to write down what was going on, then you get a golazo. You've seen 3 different aspects of the same guy do different things to create effects in a match.
Yeah, he was named Offensive Player of the Year in the conference, so rightfully earned this year. He's been amazing, and I think they mentioned he scored a goal in every round of this tournament, of the conference tournament. So congratulations to him. Yeah, he's been amazing. That first ball in on the header, just perfect height with it. Good curl on it as well, enough for the keeper not to come out. And I think Luke was actually I think he was trying to claim that at the end of the game. I'm pretty sure he was. But yeah, either way, it was a great ball in from him. And then same. He's so direct, Ben. He's great when he's in 1v1 situations. He just he sees the space beyond, whether it's inside or outside of the defender, and touches it into the space, puts it across the box, makes it difficult for the defender to clear, the keeper to come out. It's just, he's very direct, and I really like watching him play. He's a good player.
Maddie, what's up with you? What else is on your mind with Oglethorpe legend Ryan Marcano?
Just looking back at being a part of the 2017 championship, and then looking ahead now and seeing this new generation kind of come up and secure it again going into this. What advice would you give to these players going into this tournament in the next couple of weeks?
They didn't make any mistakes today, but learn from your mistakes, and just over the season, any mistakes that we've made in previous games over the year, just make sure we buckle down and have a solid performance, be locked in for the tournament, and make sure we're taking care of ourselves, doing all the right things and stuff like that. But yeah, I think it's going to be important for the boys to stay consistent, and because that's what's going to give them boost in the tournament.
How do you take what happened today and go, yeah, this is cool and great, and you process it, knowing that the selection shows tomorrow afternoon, and everybody's I imagine that the guys are probably going to be wrapped around a television somewhere, either in that building or over in the library or someplace.
Right.
How do you have them process what happened today, take the information with them, get the selection show done tomorrow afternoon after lunch, and then it's like, okay, focus on the task at hand. We got this next thing going. How do you process this and sit there and go, okay, it's over, it's done, we have to put it behind us? How difficult is that for an athlete, knowing that there's more that you want to accomplish? It's like, yeah, we had a great thing. How do you wash all that away and focus on what's going forward?
I think today they earned the right to celebrate and enjoy themselves, as we can see right in front of us. They're still taking pictures.
I think they need to take more pictures.
No, it's well earned today. They deserve it. But for sure, I think when I was a player in the program, I think it was expected for us to win the regular season. Maybe not the tournament, but it was definitely expected for us to win the regular season. And I think it's at least expected for us to make it to the finals of this conference tournament. And with that being said, we would have hoped there would have been an at-large bid, even if the result didn't go our way today. But yeah, I think that the boys definitely deserve it today, and oh.
Well, so wait a second. So Aaron, it's like, so Aaron, good to see you. Well, so no, that you're coming around to this side. You're coming over here. And so Ryan's done. He just wants to tag out. That's a hot tag. It's a hot tag for Aaron Ibe.
Yeah, good stuff. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Yeah, Ryan's just done. Ryan's out the door. He's just like, I'm done. I'm finished talking. I'm leaving. All right. So Aaron Ibe, one of the stalwarts at the back for Oglethorpe, hanging out with us here on the post-game show.
Pleasure's all mine. Thank you for having me.
All right. So what was it like out there for you today?
Today, it was a very fast-paced game, bit of a cagey start. I think both of us had a lot of energy because of the occasion. So it took until the later rounds, the later plays in the second half to really open them up. But we were always confident about the quality that we had on the pitch and the quality that we could bring on. So it was never a doubt in our minds that we was going to get the goals. It was just a case of when, keeping our heads and stay doing the right things, which we did. So very, very pleased for myself and for the boys. And our season is not done. So we'll enjoy this win, but tomorrow straight back to business.
And going into halftime, that circle that you guys had, it was a 0-0 draw right now going into it, and then coming back into the second half. What was that message, and what was the talk going into the second half to kind of see how much success you guys had there?
Keep doing what we're doing. They can shield and they can work hard for 45 minutes, but it's different to work hard for 90 minutes. We were quite confident that the more they chased us, the more we moved the ball from side to side and kept possession, the gaps were going to come eventually, and they did. Again, we got a really good group of boys. So when the gaps did open, we had the quality to find each other in the right space, and decision-making, selflessness. I think earlier on in the season, we would have taken a shot too many or a touch too many or tried to go alone. I think the time we've spent with each other, getting to know our games and stuff, has really paid off now, because you can see that things are clicking in moments where they matter, as opposed to when we're 3 or 4-0 up, So it's really encouraging.
How tough is this conference? Because I think a lot of folks, when they look at Division III, they look out west, they look to the northeast. They don't necessarily sit there and stop their compass on the SAA. How tough is this conference?
It's a tricky one, because I think our biggest opponent in this conference is ourselves. It's us against us every time we step on the pitch. We are confident that if we step on with the right mentality and the right focus and application, with the instructions that we get from our coaching staff, we'll beat everybody in our conference. And we should be winning our conference year in, year out, and our tournament, which we are. The challenge for us is when we take that next step to the national stage, staying just as switched on, staying just as sharp mentally and physically, because like you said, there are some great teams in other conferences that we are really looking forward to play.
So tomorrow, selection show. I think it's like after lunch or something, like 2 o'clock. Where are you guys going to go hang out? Well, whose room is it going to be? Is it going to be in coach's office? Is it going to be after lunch? Are you bringing snacks, or is everyone bringing snacks? Do the underclassmen have to bring the snacks for the upperclassmen? How does this work tomorrow?
So I think we're all going to bring something. Everyone likes different stuff, so we always all bring something, so we have a big spread. Usually it tends to be the locker room. We have a really nice locker room facility, so we hang out there, and then we're
going to the locker room tomorrow afternoon.
Exactly. But from there, we'll filter back to one of our houses, one of our apartments. And usually what we do is watch the other teams, and we'll get around each other and say, okay, he's a good player. He looks bad. We can exploit him there. But I think this time, definitely going to have some celebrations in and amongst that. So can't wait to get started.
What are you going to be bringing to this Hot Luck tomorrow to watch the show?
Champagne.
Ooh.
Can I join you?
I see how
Absolutely.
this works. Behind you is a freshman in starting. Not literally. Not literally, Aaron.
It's been a long game.
But when you're out there and whistle's about to blow, you're a part of the back line. There's someone who's younger behind you. Nico, a freshman, doing what he's been able to do. And I think as a credit to the entire defense, all the wins this year, clean sheets attached to them. I mean, it's 13 wins, 13 clean sheets. It's a record here on campus. What's it like to have someone who is as composed as he is, as young as he is out there for you?
It's very refreshing. Typically, the younger boys, we would have to talk more to guide through the game, show a little bit more patience. But he's taken everything in his stride this year, and I want to go on record and say that the conference messed up by not giving him Defensive Player of the Year. I don't know how you can keep a record-breaking amount of shutouts or clean sheets and not receive that award. So we look to him and talk to him and play with him as if he is our Defensive Player of the Year, because we know he is, and he's shown it again with another shutout today. He's really adaptive as well. He takes everything in his stride. He's humble. He knows that there's players in the team, such as myself and other players who are older that have maybe been places and seen things that we love to share with him in key moments, and he takes it all on board. So I'm super happy for him, and he's going to get what's coming to him because he deserves every moment.
All right, we're going to do a hot tag. Aaron, thanks for hanging out with us.
Thank you,
I will
pleasure.
take the microphone.
No problem.
You can shake Maddie's hand.
Yeah.
And now this is where we yell at JR.
Jake!
Tag in.
You guys have a lovely night.
Big-
I know we will.
Be good.
Thank you.
Congratulations, Aaron. JR Cozine dropping by. The pride of Decatur, Georgia.
What's up? What's up? Decatur, where it's greater.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
So I know that this is traditionally like a $5 fine when I do stuff like this, but it is a violation of the sideline reporter's Bible asking this question.
Oh, no.
How does it feel?
Oh,
Wow. There we go. Getting right to it.
Uh-huh.
Unbelievable, honestly. Not many people have the chance to play for a conference title in their lives. And, we were blessed enough to win it and put up a great performance. And, we were looking for retribution after the first game this season. We felt a little bit hard done, and we got it done at home today. So can be more proud of the guys and can be happier.
now this was like a rematch for you guys. They handed you your first loss, your only loss of this
Ooh,
season
inbound.
so far. And
There
here it
you
is.
Oh, hey, baby. How are you?
Coming into this matchup, was it kind of a given that this felt like a second opportunity and for you guys to prove yourself against this team?
Absolutely. Yeah. All week we were talking about, let's remember this feeling, the feeling that they gave us when we lost. It was a terrible feeling, and we just wanted to come out here and make it right, and we did. So that was awesome.
All right, well, go take baby, being treated nicely.
Yeah, absolutely.
Nice,
Yeah.
and be ready for the selection show tomorrow. Make sure that lunch is ready and make sure that everything is treated well. Okay.
Absolutely. Due diligence for sure.
Absolutely. JR, thanks for hanging out with us.
Thank you.
Responsible for
Appreciate you
a
guys.
lot of
Have a
things
good
all
one.
season long at the back post for goal number 2. And we now do the final hot tag of the show. Yeah. So he puts down the dihydrogen oxide. He puts down the blazer.
Yep. Yeah, it'll probably be something different than water here in a couple minutes.
There you go. Head coach John Aiken.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
No worries. Well, like I said, it's a $5 fine. So I have $10 in the jar for asking this question back-to-back guests. How does it feel?
It feels like you're losing money. Yeah. So what's that question?
No, just how does it feel?
Oh,
Sideline reporters, it's like we always ask, well, how does it feel now that you've won a championship instead of
Right.
like something more insightful?
well, I mean, listen, it was a great response from the team, and Rhodes is a really good team. Extremely hard to break down. Very well coached. I mean, their MO is always hardworking and make life difficult, and they have players that can hurt you on the counter. And for us to score what we thought was a legitimate goal and think that they started to get a little momentum, we felt undone to overcome that and push through and start to really kind of get control of the game late was exciting. And I thought well deserved, but you've got to earn that right to have that feeling at the end. And I thought we did that, and I'm proud of the group. I think it shows resiliency, and we're gonna find out where we go
Tomorrow afternoon.
Tomorrow afternoon at 1:00, and hopefully we can represent the conference well. The conference is continuing to get better, and Rhodes has done a good job of growing and developing good players, and hopefully we show well for the rest of the league.
Maddie?
And now, I mean, coming into this matchup, it was like a rematch. They handed you your only loss this season for conference. What was that message coming in, knowing that you guys would be playing them after Friday, after the semifinal, coming into this match today?
I think quite often over the course of the season that it's kind of us against ourselves. Executing those scenarios. Whether it's hitting the target, getting the cross in, and trying to do those things well. And obviously, it's good teams make it more difficult to do that, but finding those moments where you just execute whatever it is your task is, technically, tactically, and doing that. And I think that, the biggest challenge is ourselves, and can we be a best version of ourselves? And if that happens and we don't get the result, we can live with that. But luckily we felt we were capable of beating them and executing that, and just to do it. I think the one matchup beforehand, we had a war against Emory on a 2-2 and knockdown drag out, and when we faced them, they were fresh and sitting there in Memphis waiting for us. We traveled, and even though we squandered some chances, and they had a guy sent off, we just couldn't get it done on some tired legs. So we both had tired legs today, and I think we persevered through that, and our quality showed through. But it wasn't easy. And anytime you play Rhodes and Matt Lamb's teams, it's never going to be easy.
I was going to ask the grueling weekend of a tournament. What is it like for you and the staff to try to navigate that? Obviously, you're in the ear of the physios and getting all of that data and everything.
Sure.
How difficult is it in a conference that is this difficult to navigate a difficult weekend to come out on front?
Candidly, it's such a sprint over the middle of August until now we're heading to the middle of November. It's nonstop. It's really load management, trying to see who's who needs rest when they do, but at the same time you have to win games, and you win games with your best players. And it's that balancing, that juggling act of taking players off and giving them rest, and then leaving them on. And I think it was in the Friday night game, it was one of those where I probably could have taken, Ben off, and I left him on because that's what, you do with best players. And, he turned out to be, had a great moment and unlocked the game and went up 1-0. So I wish there was a more scientific way to do it. It's a little bit of instinct. It's a little bit of, knowing what your players can and can't handle, learning about them over the course of the season, and trying to read the situation as best you can. And I always take the approach that less is more. Some people talk about, being able to grind through, and it's too short a period of time to really to manage that.
And last question for me. I mean, being able to win the SAA tournament final here in your home field in front of your home fans. I mean, how did that feel, getting to have that experience with the fans from all the way up there and even onto the balcony as well?
Yep.
You got the fourth floor support up there.
We do. They're a rowdy bunch, and that makes our home environment difficult to play. I thought, especially on a Sunday afternoon, people have family plans and church and whatever else. We got a really, really good crowd. And I think, the new venue, the way we've dressed it up has enhanced the fan experience. And when you play the brand of soccer that we play, as well as, have some of the talent that we have, it's fun to watch. I mean, it's a free game to come watch. I mean, I don't understand why, a lot of youth clubs, don't organize more things around it, more high school teams to come watch live soccer. I think what we're going to try to do this off season is really grow what we do and try to share that with other people. And I think it'll be fun, but it'll also be a learning experience and allows us to help grow the game in our immediate area. But for the greater Atlanta area, you don't have to, stick around for the MLS season. There are very good college teams around, and I think it's we play a brand that's encouraging. Young players want to be a part of it, so it helps us a little bit with recruiting. It helps us grow the game, and I think that's really what it's all about. I think if we all come together and do what's good for the game, good things happen. Even if you don't win a championship, it could come down the line to you some way, shape, or form.
And we know that lunchtime tomorrow is going to be a busy time for you. You get to find out what your situation is in D3. We've heard that folks are turning this into a potluck for whatever location this is going to be. Lunch is going to be prepared. Apparently, liquid is going to be brought as well.
Yes.
So it's going to be a rather full experience for you tomorrow afternoon.
It will be. It will be. And it's exciting. I mean, the instinct is to say that Emory's probably going to host, and we're going to go right across the street and redo. Hopefully, we'll see them either on a Saturday or Sunday. The format is brutal. It's worse than the conference finals, with having a turnaround and compete, which is so important. The teams that have the depth are usually able to, the ones that persevere through that. But again, we may get shipped off. I'm not on the committees. I haven't been on one of those NCAA committees, and there's a lot of different things that go into the formula. Most likely it's going to be probably Brevard, Emory, ourselves, and maybe either Washington, Lee, or Lynchburg.
That's a road trip.
But, across the street.
Well, no. So, I mean, for Washington or,
Yeah, depending on who wins today. I think they're playing right now, and I think Lynchburg was up 1-0, but we'll know in a few minutes. But we also could be somewhere else around the country. There's some wild results in the West, and we could get shipped out there, but who knows?
And we will keep an eye on it. Congratulations, Coach.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, congratulations.
Thank you very much. Thanks for having us.
And we'll be keeping an eye on what's going on with this guy, with the Stormy Petrels, as they head into the NCAA D3 tournament tomorrow afternoon. And he's going to get recruited for SDH. He just has been told about that right now. So,
yep, can't wait.
thanks again, Coach. Appreciate it.
Thank you, guys.
Thank
you very much.
Thank you.
John Aiken, the head coach of the Stormy Petrels. Very, very busy post-game show. SAA champs right here in Brookhaven. Gorgeous day for soccer. And so 3-0 winner. And we'll find out where they are tomorrow afternoon. Last thoughts before we go.
I mean, I'm just ecstatic. I mean, it was a great day of soccer. It was a great game to watch. I mean, probably some of the best soccer I've seen in however long. It was an honor to be able to be here to witness this, and I'm excited to see where they end up playing tomorrow. It'll be great to see.
So let me see if I can get all of our guests squared away here. It was Jessica Charman. It was Oglethorpe legend Ryan Marcano. I have to get all 4 words in there.
You have to get a little graphic to put on whenever he
one
comes
word,
on.
right?
Yeah.
Oglethorpe legend Ryan Marcano. Got to catch up with Aaron Ibe. Got to catch up with J.R. Cozy. Got to catch up with head coach John Aiken on a successful day, very, very busy day, successful day for the Stormy Petrels. They advance SAA champs in the NCAA Division III tournament. We'll find out the answers tomorrow afternoon. For Maddie, for Jason, for Ryan, for everybody.